Welcome to Coding Without Code, your first steps in Scratch.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever had a brilliant idea for a game, or maybe a funny little animation, or even an interactive story? But then you hit that wall, the one that says, ugh, I don't know how to code. Well, what if that wall just wasn't there anymore?
Because now you absolutely can. You can bring all those cool ideas to life. And the best part? You're not going to write a single solitary line of code to do it. And here's how. This is Scratch. It's a visual programming language that came out of MIT, and the whole idea is just genius. Instead of typing out complicated commands, you just snap together these colorful blocks. It's kind of like playing with digital Legos, but you're actually building a real program.
Okay, first things first. Before we can build anything, we need to know our way around the workshop, right? So let's take a quick tour of your new creative playground, the Scratch environment. So when you open it up, you're basically looking at three main areas. Over on the left, you've got the Blocks panel. Think of this as your giant toolbox filled with every possible command you can use. The big empty space in the middle, that's your script pane. This is where the magic happens, where you'll drag and connect all those blocks. And on the right, that's the stage. It's your canvas, where you get to see everything you build come to life.
All right, now every single project in Scratch, I don't care if it's super simple or incredibly complex, it all boils down to three core concepts. Let's get to know them. First up, you have sprites. A sprite is just any character or object in your project. It could be a person, a rocket ship, a bouncing ball, literally anything. The easiest way to think about it is this. Your stage is a theater, and your sprites are the actors that you get to direct.
But, an actor doesn't just walk on stage and start talking. They need a cue, right? That's exactly what events are. They are the triggers that kick everything off. It could be someone clicking the mouse, pressing a key, anything. Without an event, your actors, your sprites, are just waiting in the wings for their signal.
So, what does the actor do when they get their cue? Well, they follow the script. And in Scratch, a script is simply a stack of those blocks we've been talking about, all joined together. It's the set of instructions that tells your sprite what to do. Move over there, say this line, change your color. You get the idea. So it's that simple. You've got your actor, the sprite, your trigger, the event, and the action, the script.
Okay, theory is great, but let's be honest. We want to make something happen. So let's get our hands dirty. We are going to create your very first animation, and it only takes 5 simple steps.
So we'll start by adding a bat sprite. For our trigger, our event, we'll use the When This Sprite Clicked block. Then we'll wrap our action inside a forever loop, so it just keeps going. The action itself is simple. Just switch to the next costume, which will make the bat's wings look like they're flapping. And finally, we'll toss in a tiny wait block, just to slow it down a bit so it looks more like natural flight.
And boom, that's it. You click the bat and its wings will just keep flapping. And just like that, you're an animator. See? It's really that easy.
And what's really cool is how easy it is to add more control. We used to click to start things, right? Well, we can just as easily use another event like pressing the spacebar to trigger a stop all block. This is what programming is all about. Different triggers causing different actions.
Making things move is a fantastic start, but the real fun begins when you give your program a brain. The ability to remember information and, more importantly, to make decisions. Let's talk about variables and logic.
So what in the world is a variable? Honestly, the best way to think about it is as a labeled box. It's a place where you can store a piece of information, like a player's score, or user's name, or just some random number. It's basically your program's memory, and the info inside that box can change as the program runs.
Let's look at a real-world example. Scratch has this handy ask and wait block. You can ask a question like, "What is your name?" and the program will just pause. Whatever the person types in gets temporarily held in this special answer block. From there, you can take that answer and pop it into your very own variable, which we can call name, so you can use it later.
And this is where it gets really powerful. You can use something called the join operator to combine plain text with the information stored in your variables. So you can join the word hello with whatever is in your name variable to create a personalized greeting for every single user.
Okay, so storing information is one thing, but what if you want your program to do something based on that information? Like, what if your game needs to check if the player's score is high enough to win? How does it make that decision?
Well, that is where if blocks come in. These are the decision makers of your program.
You give it a condition to check, and if that condition is true, then the blocks you put inside it will run. It's as simple as that.
Let's check out a slightly more advanced example. Say we want to count even numbers. First, the program grabs a random number and stores it in a variable called num. Then, it uses an if block to check a condition. And what's the condition? It's asking, is this number even? If the answer is yes, if it's true, then another variable, our even counter, goes up by 1.
So how does it know if a number is even? It uses a little bit of mathematical magic called the mod operator, or modulo. All mod does is it gives you the remainder after a division. Think about it. Any even number divided by 2 has a remainder of 0. An odd number has a remainder of 1. So when our condition asks if num mod 2 equals 0, it's just a clever way of asking, is this number perfectly even?
Wow, okay. We've covered a lot of ground here, from making a bat fly all the way to giving our programs a decision-making brain. Let's do a super quick recap of the most important stuff you've learned.
All right, here are the key takeaways. Remember, events are the triggers that start everything. Variables are like boxes for storing your program's data. It's memory. That answer block is a special one that holds on to whatever a user types in. And if blocks, well, they're the brains, allowing your program to make decisions. And of course, all those sound and motion blocks are what make everything fun and bring it all to life.
You know, you now have all the fundamental building blocks of programming. You've got your sprites, your events, scripts, variables, and logic. You know how to make things move, how to make them interactive, and even how to make them smart. So really, there's only one question left. What are you going to create first? Go on, give it a shot.